State Representative Joe Moody, who has also advocated for Roberson. Representative, thank you so much for your time. What was your reaction to his life being spared, at least for now?
Look, all of this has been very unexpected, and it's unprecedented. The Texas legislature has never issued a subpoena for someone who was hours away from being executed. So I'm grateful that the Texas Supreme Court respected the legislature's authority. We have the right to issue subpoenas. We have the right to interview witnesses, and we are very concerned about the law in Texas and how it's being misapplied to Mr. Roberson. And so I'm grateful that the Supreme Court saw through that we have this authority, and they honored that last night. And by doing that, they have stayed his execution for now.
Yeah, a lot of the support is coming because his daughter, Nikki, was sick. She had pneumonia at the time. And there's a lot of speculation or thought that she died as a result of her illness, not as a result of being shaken. What happens next?
Well, and to your point, we actually heard testimony in that same hearing that we issued the subpoena from a doctor that reviewed all of her medical records and said, in no uncertain terms, Nikki died of pneumonia. And so that was very important. What happens next is we're going to have a hearing. The court said that our subpoena is valid, and so we're going to talk to Robert, and we're going to let his voice be heard in this process. He has a unique perspective. He's the one that's the center of this. He's a man with autism who I think can give the legislature an idea of what this has been like for him, from investigation to prosecution to appeal. And that's going to allow us to do our job as policymakers.
You know, and Representative Moody, I know that there is so much focus right now on this case, but how could what happens in this case potentially affect other cases, do you think?
Well, this centralizes around a law that people call the junk science writ. So it means that if science comes up later in time after a conviction that we didn't know at the time or could have contradicted some evidence at the trial, then someone like Mr. Roberson, or in a similar situation, could get relief, can have relief in the courts. What our argument is the courts have not been following the law. And so I think ultimately what's going to happen is the courts are on notice that the legislature is watching. We expect the laws that we write to be followed the way they're written. And I think that it's going to have an impact on cases going forward, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, we will start so many eyeballs right now on what happens in Texas. Texas State Representative Joe Moody, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.